Miss, are we just gonna have to, Miss, are we just gonna have to do, Miss, are we just gonna have to do this page or no?
We're gonna talk about it, okay? In just a second. Just give it a second for everybody to get back in so we don't have to repeat it lots of times. Lucas, what's wrong with your camera?
I know, it's so weird. I'm freaking out.
I don't know. Yeah.
All righty. Okay, for daily 5, for the next bit, Genesis, you have a question? Okay.
Nope.
Let Sam will come in and then we'll explain.
Your camera's better, Lucas.
Did I filter? Okay, here we go. For daily 5, for the next couple weeks, or at least for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna take a break from our fantasy fiction reading as groups. I want you to still be reading those books on your own. You can go ahead and read them at your own pace. You need to finish them by the end of January. Okay, so if you're done reading your fantasy fiction, awesome. If you haven't finished yet, you have until the end of the month to finish your book. Okay, so that means like your Runaway Ralph book or Cricket in Times Square, any of those rat books that you're reading, you have until the end of January. You can read them as part of your reading at home, your 30 minutes, or you can just read them at any other time, but you have until the end of January to finish those books. At the end of January, you're gonna do a book report about your book, okay? And we're gonna talk about that more later. But you have the rest of the month to finish up that book, okay? So what we're gonna do instead here in daily 5 is we're gonna work on being able to understand really well what we're reading and be able to write about what we read. Okay, we're not going to do a huge writing project right now. We're going to write short things about what we read so that we can show that we're really understanding exactly what we're reading. Okay, lots of you are really, really good at reading out loud. You say the words correctly, you pronounce things well, I can understand you. But then when somebody asks you about what you just read, you don't know what's going on. Okay, some of you do, but most of you are having a hard time putting into words what you just read and putting it into your own words. So that's what we're going to practice this next couple weeks in daily 5 is reading and then making it make sense, okay, and talking about it in writing, okay? So no big long papers right now and no big group reading. I do not want you to work ahead, okay? We're just gonna do 1 page, the front and back each day, but please don't do all of them today and then just be done because that's not gonna help you become a stronger reader, okay? The idea is to do it. Yeah, the idea is to do it nice and slow, okay, and to take your time. Alba?
What if you don't have a printer?
You can still open it on Moodle and look along and then just write, either do it in Cami or do it in, like, screenshot it and do it on
Okay.
Google Drive or whatever, okay? Okay, so the one that we're gonna do today, we're gonna do together, like a practice one. Okay, so don't just rush through it, okay, because you want to know how to do it well. And then we're gonna do a different one each day. All right, Matthias, you have a question?
Yes, we're gonna, for which book we're gonna talk about?
Today we're gonna read the one that says The Lost Kitten. It's the first page of your packet. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up here on the screen.
Where?
It looks like this.
Turn it around, Matias.
And
You find it? Should be at the very front.
okay, yes, I found it.
Okay. So what we do with these reading comprehension packets is that you read first the paragraph or the little story. Okay, that's what we're gonna do first. And the idea is that you read it and then you answer the 4 questions that are on the side, on the right-hand side where it says understand it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a couple minutes and I don't want you to do anything except for read it and then answer the questions. When you answer, you're just gonna circle your answer. Okay, it's multiple choice. Okay, so go ahead, read the story and then circle your answers for the 4 questions. Okay, when you're done, put up your little electronic hand so I know when to move on.
Miss,
Yes, Emmanuel.
in which color do we circle our answers?
You can just use a normal pen or pencil for this part.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Just put up that little hand. Once everybody's got their hands up, we'll go to the next part.
Done. Miss, we just had to do this first part, right? Not the bottom.
Just the first part.
Okay.
Miss,
Yes.
we still don't have to do the color parts, right?
No, not yet. Just the 4 questions on the side.
Okay, I was done with that.
Done.
Good.
Done.
All right. All right. Looks like most people are done. So we're going to move on to the next part. Okay. At the bottom, where it says word work, it says color the words in the passage that match each category. So you're going to look at the passage and all of the contractions, you're going to color red. Okay, a contraction is where you put 2 words together, right? So you're going to look and find where are the contractions and you're going to highlight it or underline it red. So I'll show you one example. Let's see.
I know.
Okay, what do you see?
Understood.
Understood. Good. So you're gonna
Miss,
highlight or underline understood. Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
And then we're at the bottom, do we have to put under and stood?
At the bottom, no. Okay, you're only gonna just color code it. Okay, so then anything that's a plural, that means it has more than one, you're gonna highlight blue. Okay, so you're gonna look and see a plural. Can someone give me an example of a plural that they see?
Neighbors.
Neighbors. Good. I'm gonna make my line a little bit smaller here. Okay, so you would just underline or highlight the word neighbors. Okay, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. Okay, so if you look up here,
Puffy.
good, puffy, and you're gonna highlight it green. Okay, so you find the word puffy and you're gonna highlight green. You wanna find all of the adjectives, not just one. Okay, look for all of them. And then the last kind of word that you're gonna look for are proper nouns. Someone tell me, what is a proper noun?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Sarah, good. So some sort of name, right? So any of the names you're gonna underline or highlight orange. Okay, you're gonna find all of them. Okay,
Miss,
yes.
should we underline all the names of all the times Sarah's name comes up?
All of the places you see it.
Okay.
Okay, so you should see lots of colors filling up your page. Emmanuel?
Miss, if there says Sarah's mom, do we underline it too? Because there says Sarah or no?
Yeah, you would underline Sarah, but not mom.
Or like if do we underline Sarah's?
Yeah, Sarah's. Okay, the reason that we're doing this is so that you're really paying attention to it, because sometimes we just read and we brush right through what we're reading and we don't pay close attention to what we're reading. Okay, when you finish underlining,
Miss,
yes, Marcos?
is allergic an adjective?
No.
Okay.
Miss,
Yes.
I'm
please?
having a hard time understanding what's a plural.
A plural is like if it's more than one thing. So we had neighbors. I also see kitten because there's more than one, right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
The entire story, it only says, I know at one part it says kittens right at the beginning.
Yeah, there's 2 times in there.
Oh,
Miss,
Yes,
bird is a plural? Bird?
plural is like kittens
No,
or
bird,
neighbors with
bird.
the S at the end.
Miss, what is an adjective again?
An adjective is a word that describes a noun.
So like red is
Good.
Would
could
red
an
be one?
adjective. Yeah, red could be one. 'Cause it's describing her eyes, right? They were red and puffy. Or bright red even.
Done.
Cheeks.
Miss,
All right.
also
Done.
regarding
Vicky. All right.
Miss, what
Yes.
is starting?
Darting means that they ran real quick. Okay, so now when you're done with that, you're gonna look and you're gonna copy the 5 bold words. Those are the dark black words. And you're gonna put one on each of these 5 lines on the side. And then you're gonna look at the story and you're gonna do your best to figure out what each word means. So I told Rafa right now that darting means to move really quick or to run. Okay, so you could put that for one of them, but you're gonna do the rest of them. So if we put the word that,
We can put them in whatever order.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
And why are they
I don't understand how to do it.
I'm gonna show you. So for example, Rafa asked, what does darting mean? Okay, so there's the word. And then you're gonna look at the sentences that are around it. It says, when they got out of the car, a kitten came darting up to Sarah. So you're gonna look at the sentence and then you're gonna guess. What do you think that the word means based on what you read? Okay. So what do we think darting means? We think it just means that it ran
came up.
quick.
I don't know.
Miss,
Came up.
when you put puffy, like
Yep.
how can you describe it? Like,
Well, I want you to try. Okay, so what do you think that it means? Okay. If you know the meaning of the word, then you can put that. But if you don't know, then just look at the sentence and see what you think that that word means. Okay, so darting is one of the words. What's another one of the dark, bold words?
neighbors.
Neighbors. Okay, so you're gonna do that for each of the 5 bold words. What's the other words?
No, wait, darting, puffy.
Okay, puffy, scoop. What's the last one?
What could skip me?
Alert.
Allergic.
Okay, you're gonna look at the sentence and try to guess what does the word mean.
Miss, is that the only page we have to do?
No, that's the front of the page. Amelia, did you have a question? No. Marcos? Rafa?
What is scoop?
I want you to look at the sentence and guess what it means. I'm not gonna tell you. Guess. Vic, you have a question?
Miss,
Yes.
constructions mean like something. I forgot what constructions mean.
You mean contractions?
Yeah,
Contractions
Sorry.
are like 2 words put together. So like up here we see understood. You're gonna see if there's other words that are 2 words that are put together.
okay, I found one already.
Okay.
Miss, is problem a contraction?
No.
Miss,
Yeah.
are we doing another page after this or no?
Yes. All right. When you finish that part, on the back, it asks you some questions. Okay. These are your opinion, and not all of them are your opinion. Some are not. but most of them are your opinion. So the first question says, what is your opinion of the story and why? I want you to tell me, what do you think about it? Did you like it? You don't like it? It's funny, it's sad, it's happy. What did you feel about the story and why? Okay, so it only needs to be like 1 or 2 sentences, but you need capitals and periods. It needs to make sense. Then the next question below that, it asks, how would you have acted in the story and why? So you're going to think about it. If you were the main character in the story, or if you were the mom, or if you were the neighbor, okay, if you were part of the story, how would you have acted and why? Okay, so you're going to imagine yourself as part of the story. Okay, 1 or 2 sentences. Each of these should be just 1 or 2 sentences. You just need to fill up the lines there. Okay, with capitals and periods or question marks. The third one, what big ideas can you infer? That means what big ideas could you guess and use in your own life? So what is something that you could learn from the story? That's what it's asking you. Okay, the third question wants to know, what can you learn from the story? How can you apply it to your life? And one on the top says, who is telling the story and how do you know? Okay, is the girl telling the story? Is the narrator telling the story? Is the mom or the neighbor? Who's telling the story and how do you know? Then the next one says, how are you alike and different from the main character? Okay, so think about who is the main character and what is something that you have something similar or something different from that main character. And the last question, how did the characters change over time? Okay, did the mom change or did Sarah change or the neighbor? Okay, how did one of the character or all of the characters change over time? Emmanuel, you have a question?
Yes, where it says who's telling the story, would it be the narrator?
I don't know, I want you to tell me.
But I
Okay, so think about it. When you read the story, who does it sound like it's telling it? Is it the characters or is it somebody outside of the story?
Done.
Be the narrator. Okay, when you are finished, then you are free to go. You need to turn in the front and the back of the page on Moodle. And then you need to come back for computer at 1 o'clock. Okay, so you have lunch break and then 1 o'clock
Miss,
for computer. Yes.
what do I put for passage number?
You don't have to put anything up there, just your name.
Oh,
Okay, good question. Marcos, do you have a question?
No.
Okay, Alba, did you have a question?
Yes, if we finish
yes, I didn't really understand the first part.
The first page or the second page? Sorry, hang on, Alba, I can't hear you because Saki's mic was on. Okay, Alba, what part did you not understand?
The first part was the paragraph.
Up here, first you read it, then you answer these 4 questions. Then you highlight all the contractions red. So anywhere there's 2 words put together to make one new word. You highlight all of the plural words blue. You highlight all of the adjectives. Those are words that describe a noun. You highlight those green. And then any names, any proper nouns, you're going to highlight orange. And then on the bottom, on the right, you're going to copy the 4 dark words like I put here. And then you're going to tell me what you think they mean based on what the sentence says.
Okay, now I do. And then on the next part, you just need to write what it tells you to write.
Yep, you're just gonna use 1 or 2 sentences with good periods and capitals and answer the questions. Okay,
Okay,
it doesn't
thank you.
have to be
Bye.
long. Bye. Rafa, did you have a question?
No.
Okay, Vic, you have a question?
No, I
Marcos?
forgot to raise my.
My question is, I don't understand number 3 in the second part. It says, what big ideas can you infer and use in your own life?
That means like, what is something you can learn from the story?
I don't know.
Well, what did Sarah learn?
Mm, I don't know.
Okay, well, keep thinking about it. Emmanuel?
In the third one, how act by being Sarah, or like how?
Yeah, like how would you have been in the story? Like if you were Sarah, what would you have done?
Okay.
Or if you were the mom or the dad or whatever, what would you have done? All right, when you're finished, you can go and then 1 o'clock for computer. Okay, you need to put both pages on Moodle, okay, the front and the back. Any more questions?